J. Craig Mentor Institute, and obviously me personally. This is a day that's been a long time in coming. I actually left La Jolla, UCSD, 36 years ago. And I certainly never imagined first, my grandparents grew up in San Diego. My mother actually went to La Jolla High School. And I used to see this campus when it was just SIO and then Raval College. In fact, the highway used to go right through this bridge, under the bridge that is now a walkway over to the medical school campus. So, after I got drafted and spent some time in the Navy here, you know, I always thought about being able to come to UCSD, and I was pleased that it finally worked out in the early 70s. I was in the first graduating class from your college, and then 3 years later got a PhD from the medical school in the physiology and pharmacology program. We've been discussing coming back to La Jolla for a long time. Marianne Fox helped make it a reality. And we first started talking to her in late 2005, early 2006 about moving the Mentor Institute to La Jolla and being part of the UCSD campus. And that was it's a unusual discussion in the first place because there are no independent institutes at UCSD. There's lots of them integrated as part of things like Howard Hughes and others. So this was a unique opportunity to have our not-for-profit institute in the university setting and bring what our teams bring in genomics to collaborative research here. So it's been a long dream. It's actually taken us more time once the discussion started and we even selected jointly the property here. It took longer to get to this point than it took us to sequence the human genome. But it's, I think the impact may be as long-lasting, remains to be seen. We set out to do something totally unique. Much the way that the Salk Institute set a new paradigm latter part of last century. We actually wanted to put our thoughts about sustainability and the environment into practice. And we've been looking at different kinds of things that one can do with architecture to make things truly sustainable. And it's been a real challenge, and you'll hear in a little bit briefly from Ted Hyman, the lead architect that we've been working with, and the process we went through of trying to design what, if we do it right, will be the world's first zero-carbon research building. And those of you know, research buildings have unique problems with getting them to that level because of the required turnovers of air when you're working with complex molecular biology, different chemicals, etc. Everything was a challenge, but we learned a lot about energy. We're not going to have, for example, any desktop computers because they use about 10 times as much energy as a laptop computer. And we have to find unique ways to cool computers using water instead of generating a lot of air conditioning to cool off computers. So a lot of wonderful features are in this building, and I urge all of you to look at some of them on the chart here to get it to where it's going to be generating more energy than it utilizes is the goal. Obviously on foggy June gloom days, we may be pulling more from the grid than we're giving back, but most of the other days we hope to actually be providing excess of power to the grid. And in the future, we even want to use some of the unique technologies developed at the Institute in terms of unique microbial fuel cells for processing waste water, etc. There's a lot of people who've been involved in this process, but